Hello and welcome back to the series 5 Things, where we highlight 5 different things, activities, questions, or other recommendations on a single book. Today's book is The Very Last Castle by Travis Yonker, with pictures by Mark Pett. The Very Last Castle is about a girl in a castle and the lone guard who stands there. The townspeople had a lot of ideas about what was in the castle, like monsters, giants, snakes. But Ib thought it might be something else. One day, the guard was not at his post, so Ib decided to investigate. She heard and ran away. Later, she receives a letter inviting her back to the castle. This time, the doors opened. Ib met the guard, and they toured all around the castle. Ib is asked by the guard to be part of the castle. In return, she asks for a simple request. The end. If you like this story, you can place a hold on it at tulsalibrary.org, and stay tuned at the end of this video for more suggestions for titles like this one. Okay, here are 5 things, questions, activities, or other recommendations you can do on The Very Last Castle. Thing 1. Hey, does this story sound familiar to you? Remind you of anything? Although it is a different story, it shares some similarities with another very famous book and movie. I will give you some clues.
There's a contest. There is some candy. And a golden ticket!
If you guessed Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you're right. If you guessed Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, you're also right. The difference between those two are the book title, written by Roald Dahl in 1964, and the 1971 movie.
In 2005, there was another movie adaptation too, with Johnny Depp, which reverted back to the original title, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
This is an excellent opportunity for some family read-aloud time. Do you know reading aloud together as a family can help foster the love of reading? Why not start a new or continue an already established tradition of reading aloud together with reading Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? It's a fun story, and you can get it in many different formats at the library. We have copies of both movies as well. You can talk about the similarities and differences between the different versions of Charlie or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and the similarities and differences between that story and this one. Thing 2. Tired of the stones you throw into castle moats always going plunk? Here's a cool science lesson just for you. Mark Rober is a former NASA engineer who builds a lot of really, really cool things, including a rock launcher for science.
I know, right?
In the video I suggest, he builds a machine to try to figure out the best way to throw a rock to get the ultimate number of rock skips. If you find yourself near a lake or a river this summer, perfect your skill by learning the technique he found was the best to get the maximum amount of skips. Maybe learn a little science along the way. Thing 3. It's time for
Build-A-Reader Highlight!
The 5 Build-A-Reader activities are talk, sing, read, write, and play. These are activities we can do every single day to build our little readers and their little reader brains. Today's Build-A-Reader highlight is talking. We are focusing on all 3 because today we are talking about onomatopoeias. That's a big fun word, isn't it? Onomatopoeia. An onomatopoeia is a word that is also a sound. This can be a little confusing, but there are so many words that fall into the category, like the ones in this book.
Plunk, snap, thud, hiss. Plunk again, knock, hiss again, thunk, snap again, thud again, and one last time, hiss.
You can also find a lot of these in comic books, things like pow! Think of a few onomatopoeias on your own. Say them out loud a few times. Maybe even practice some really cool actions while doing so. It helps. Like zap and pow and bang! Then create a comic book action splat from your favorite word that you have come up with. As always, if you need help spelling or thinking of words, talk to a grown person. They can help. Thing 4. What is your favorite castle? What? You don't have one? Did you know there are real castles still standing today? Yeah, Ask your grown-up to help you search for some really cool real-life castles and maybe comment below what your favorite one is you found. And sure, if your favorite castle is Cinderella's castle or Hogwarts, that totally counts because same. But also maybe find some outside of fiction too. Thing 5. Today's activities are best served with castles made out of food. Have you ever made a castle out of your mashed potatoes? You should not play with your food. Parents, look over there! Okay, now that they're distracted, you should totally make a castle out of your mashed potatoes. You can try it with other foods too. How tall can you build a pretzel tower? Alright, that's it for me and the very last castle. Thank you for watching. Here are some other titles you might enjoy.
Some family read aloud together. Family. The 5 builder reader activities are top theme. That was wrong.